What's up everyone, it's that Weekend Warrior. I am super stoked about today's video because I have acquired a grail. Like many toy collectors, we have multiple grails that we try to pick up throughout our time hunting and searching. But this one in particular, I am so excited about. If you watched a previous video I did called Vintage versus Retro, I talked about having a lot of He-Man and Masters Universe toys as a kid, but having no idea where they went. Castle Grayskull, I had Battle Cat, I had Point Dread and other vehicles, and I have no idea where they went. Like just poof, they're gone. So first off, it will always just be He-Man to me because that's what I called it as a kid. It was not Masters of the Universe, it was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. These toys were awesome. As a kid, like I remember watching the cartoon and wanting these toys and just the wonderment of like I have the figure and I can play with these toys and watch the cartoon and recreate these battles, and you've got voices to these characters. It was really special time. I'm sure many of you have had those moments through your childhood where you had a toy you connected with and at the same time you had the cartoon to go along with it. You know, now in my adult years, I know it was a marketing thing to help sell toys, but as a kid you didn't know any better. You were just like, this is awesome, like I have this really rad toy, this beefy toy that I get to play with, and with a definitive bad guy as well. You know, and also as a kid, you don't really think about the hero being in warm colors and the bad guy being in cool colors or any of that sort of stuff, right? But they're just awesome, and it was so much fun. And you know, everyone that I knew growing up, they had He-Man. Like I talked about in a previous video, is you've got the vintage versus retro, where a lot of these brands are releasing retro versions of these toys and the little differences there, right? And in that video I mentioned that He-Man is one of those vintage toy lines that I want to collect. So the online search began. So I went to eBay and started looking through vintage He-Man complete specifically. You know, in 81 is when this character was released, and then I believe they shifted where they were made in 83 when the cartoon came out. So a complete 1981 He-Man made in Taiwan is, I guess, a little bit different in price, and it's not much, it's not a huge margin. But one of the things I wanted to look at is how to identify the pricing differences, and it really comes down to the face. Specifically the eyebrows and the mouth. Like if He-Man's got like nice set of brows and a fresh grill, he's more expensive than one that's a little bit you know, lesser in that area. And I'm sure you could probably paint and polish them up if you don't want to spend that much, but I wanted mine to be clean. I want it to be crisp, and I found one, and I am so stoked to have this figure. Look at how fresh that grill is. Look how clean this figure is. I'm never gonna say that I didn't think I was ever gonna have this toy again in my collection. I knew I was going to. It just was a question of time. And apparently the time was now. This made me so happy. Like when this thing arrived, and it was very quick, I was in tears. I mean, the nostalgia was overloaded, and all those feelings, like all those hours sitting in the living room of my parents' house growing up in Virginia Beach, Virginia, playing with these toys, watching these cartoons, holding the, you know, the Power Sword toy, which I'll get that at some point too, and reenacting it. It just warms my heart. Like I am so happy to have this figure. Before I wrap up today, I have some very exciting news to share. Weekend Warrior is now a Super 7 affiliate. As a toy collector and nostalgia celebrator, this was just awesome. Thank you so much, Super 7, for the opportunity. I love their figures. I think they released some of the raddest toys in the market today. Everything from their reaction figures to the ultimates. Their shirts are cool. The vintage Halloween mask that they do. I mean, and if you're a punk rock kid like me, they have a Gorilla Biscuits one. Make sure you check the description because I'll post a link with my Weekend Warrior code there, as well as links to all my social platforms. So if you want, go give me a follow. I post content daily. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button as well as the bell to get notified when I drop new content. And until next time, be good.